Hey everyone, it's Brenda with Stampin' Up. Today I have a cute little card to show you. Actually, I have 4 different designs of this little fun fold. It is called a backfold card, and I saw it first made on Patty Bennett's channel, and she used the Earthen Elegance suite to make a card. And I really liked this fold, and I thought it was interesting, very different. I'd never seen it before. So the first one I decided to make a card for my cousin who loves old Chevys. So I decided to use Trucking Along, and I came up with this card here. And as you see, this folds back like this. That's why it's called a back fold. And then this opens up. So it's really, I really think this is just neat. So this is how it works. This card I used Trucking Along, and I used the Grassy Grove dies for this. I'm not going to be making this card today. I am making one, but the last one I show you. If you want to know exactly what I made for these, used for these, I will put that in the description below, the products I used for each card. All right, so this is the first one. The second one I made is I needed another baby card. My husband and I, our niece had her second baby, a baby girl, so I wanted a baby girl card, so I decided to use the Easter Bunny set to make a little baby girl card. And same thing, it opens like that, and I thought that really turned out cute. Again, I'll put the products used in the link below. So that's the second one. Then I decided, okay, let me do some Christmas cards. So I decided to use, and I need to show you this, I finally got my Winter Meadow paper that had been missed in my order, so I wasn't able to show you in the unboxing what that is. So let me just show you the paper real quick. If you haven't seen it, maybe you've already seen it, but maybe you haven't. So it's very, very pretty paper. So this is one of them, and the back is this marbly look. All right. This one is the one I'm using today. This is one of these great sheets that you can just do a cut down the middle and cut it into 6 pieces all around and make cards. The only problem with that is that your cards usually are not very original because everybody comes up with the same idea. So I decided to use this paper on one of these cards to make it different than everyone else's. But I love this paper. It's just really pretty. And the back of that is another, you know, sort of marbly, cloudy look. All right. So then this one, look at how gorgeous this is. I really like that. And it's sort of a watercolor look. You get these watercolor marks. And the back is this, that's really gorgeous. It looks like, to me, this looks like frost on your windows when it freezes. So, but that's pretty neat. Very pretty. And then we've got these little trees. And the back of this is another one of these sort of frosty, marbly look. All right. Then here's another one that is that same sort of look in a different color. And this is the flip side of that one. And then the last one is this, which is very pretty as well. And that has another one of these watercolory looks on the back. Now this paper goes with this stamp set called Magical Meadow. And I use this set as well in the card that I'm going to show you. So let me get that. I need to get this paper back in its thing here, and the sleeve. All right, so let me show you the card. This turned out really cool. I also used another new stamp die set. So this is what I came up with. Peace on Earth, and it opens like this. So I use this stamp right here on this, and so that is how that turned out. This piece right here is from a new die set that comes with the wishes all around, and it has these dies that cut out the trees, the snowflakes, and then like a little wreath here. So that is a really nice stamp set, and I love the dies. So that's how I did that one. And the one we're making today, this is so pretty. So this is using the new Joy of Christmas paper. All right. And that, I just think this turned out really super pretty. So this is what we're making. So I will get started and show you what you need to make this card. All right. So first of all, I did use Hope and Peace. I don't think this is in the catalog, but it is still available online. That's for the Tidings of Comfort and Joy stamp. I used the new deckled circle dies that are coming out in the mini catalog. These are really cool, y'all. Look at how many dies you get. There's like 14 of them. And this biggest one is 5 3/4 big. So this would be great on scrapbooking pages. For cards, you could maybe do a half circle to use that on cards. And then I'm also using another new stamp set in the mini catalog called Christmas Classics. And that is for the inside wish of Merry Christmas. And then the other new set is called Joy of Noel. And I use this stamp right here. Okay. So let me show you here what we need. We need real red card base, 5.5 by 7.5, scored at 3 1/4 and 6.5. Okay. Then we need a piece of the DSP that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to cut that at 3 inches right here. I have that piece together, but it's already cut. All right. Then we need 2 pieces of white for the inside, 3 by 5 1/4. And then for the sentiment, we also need a scrap of real red and a scrap of white. They don't have to be exactly the size, but they need to be at least 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 for the red, and 2.5 by 2.5 for the white for the stamping. Okay. And then I'm also using the faux linen ribbon, real red. This is retired. I don't think this was on clearance, and I don't think it's available anymore. I meant to look it up to see if there was another red in the catalog. Let me just look real quick. I should have had this figured out beforehand. All right, so there is a real red and burlap ribbon combo pack that you can get. There is a real red and garden green ribbon that you can get. So there are real red options available there. Okay. And I'm not sure if there's an online exclusive or not. I don't think so. All right, but any red will work if it matches your paper, but there are a couple options in the catalog. So, and then of course we have the real red ink, and I also use shaded spruce. Actually, in this one, I stamped this in the Memento Black, and I went over it with the marker, but I decided that it would look better stamped in this shaded spruce, so that's what I'm doing today, okay? All right, so let's get started. So what we need is this base, okay? So we've scored it at 3 1/4 and 6.5. What we're gonna do is take the bone folder And we are going to mountain fold this piece and valley fold this one, okay? So the 3 1/4 is valley folded, and the 6 1/2 is mountain folded, all right? So what you have is the regular A2 size, but this is just bends backwards. So that's why it is smaller than the 8 1/2. It's only 7 1/2 long, all right? And then of course you take your piece of DSP and you cut off at 3 inches. So this leaves you with a 3-inch piece and a 3/4 of an inch piece. And those are going to go on here just like this, all right? All right, then, of course, we need our pieces here for stamping. You're going to take your Tidings of Comfort and Joy and stamp that on the white. And then we need our deckled circle dies. And I believe it was this one and this one. All right. These are, let's see here, my handy little ruler. So this is just under 2 1/4. And this one is about 2 1/2. That is why I wanted 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, so this fits right on there like that, okay? And then this one, same thing, 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. All right, so stamp your image on here first, and then cut it out so that you can make sure that you get it perfectly lined up like this, all right? And I also cut out our red. So we have this all set and ready to go, all right? All right, then our white, we're gonna take this stamp here, and we're going to stamp that in the shaded spruce on one side. And like I said, I did it at the bottom. And so I have that done as well. And I've colored that in with my light shaded spruce and my light real red Stampin' Blends. Okay, so that's done. And then on the inside, all we have to do is stamp our Merry Christmas. And I've got that ready to go here. So what I've done is I've lined up Merry and Christmas separately. And I like to stamp Christmas first because I want that centered. All right, so what I'm doing is, okay, so I'm gonna ink this up. And I'm gonna center that right about here. All right, I could have stamped that a little bit better, but that's okay. And then Mary, I'm just going to ink that up, and I'm going to put that right over the top, like that. Okay, so there's our Merry Christmas. All right, so we are ready to roll. Now, the other thing that we need is our ribbon, which I have all ready to go. And I have my bow, as you have seen in my previous videos. Hopefully you've seen my previous videos. I'm not a real good bow maker, so I like to do that off camera because it takes me a while. And I'm also using some glue dots and some tear and tape, and of course some glue. All right. So the first thing is that we're going to put these on. Now just make sure that you keep these together when you cut it so that you know you're going on here. You don't want to flip one of these around and then it's not going to match, okay? You just want to make sure that you keep those right. And I'm just going to glue this on. All right. Make sure that matches. All right, that's the way it's going. And that just goes right on here like that. Just make sure that you line this up so that the paper looks even across the top and the bottom. All right, so there's our first part. All right. So now we don't want to put this in yet because we're going to wrap that ribbon around. Okay, but we can put this one in, or we can wait. So I'm just going to wait, I guess. And what I can do next is glue these together. All right. And now that's going to get glued on this little piece right here. So we're only going to use adhesive on this one little area right over here. So what I did is I used my tear and tape. I like to use the bigger one, and what I did is I just kind of took a piece with my scissors, all right, to put right along this edge like here. So just make sure that it's lined up right so that it's straight, and then just stick it on there. And what I also did is I kind of measured this, so that should be just about right. And you can also put a skinnier piece if you'd like along the edge just to add a little bit more adhesive. All right. So we just want to make sure that we don't get any of this adhesive on this area here. All right. So you may want to line it up and then make sure that it's straight and it's not sticking anywhere that you don't want it to stick before you press down too hard. All right, so I want it about there. And that is perfect. There's nothing showing there. So I can go ahead and press that down. All right, so there's that. Isn't that neat? I just really like this. Okay, so the next thing I did is I decided to put this ribbon out a little bit instead of right up against the edge. The problem I had with this is that I forgot about this adhesive showing here. So I'm going to put the adhesive down a little farther than I did here. And this is about a ½ inch in. So I like to use my grid here. All right, so I'm going to put it about right at this ½ inch mark. Oh, you know what? Oh boy, this cut a little short, but that'll work. All right, so on the inside, I'm going to measure a ½ inch down from this fold, and this is where my ribbon is going to go. It's going to come wrap around right here, okay? So I want my tear and tape right here, and I'm going to use the skinnier one, which is what Stampin' Up! Sells, is the 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to put that about right here. All right, and then over here as well. I'll take that off. Now I can bring in my silicone craft sheet. This so that I can flip that over. I just need to make sure that I have this lined up so I have a visual. All right, and I'm gonna put that right here. I should have had this ribbon just a little bit longer, but I think it'll work. Just wrap that around like that. And that's okay, this is all gonna be covered up. I could have done a little bit better job here, but what we can do is we can just take another piece of tear and tape and just put that right over the top. But you know what, here I just did it again. I'm gonna need that. That's gonna end up showing. So that was not a good idea. I put it a little too close. Well, let me just take that off. All right, let me try that over. Sometimes I just don't think. I do things too quickly. All right, but if I put it down far enough, it's not gonna show. That's just to keep that intact until we get the white on there, and then that will hold it in place. All right, so there we go. That's on here like this. Now what we can do also is come in with a glue dot. I like to take your pick tool, whoops, and just grab one of these glue dots off of here. All right. And just stick it right in there like that. And then that's where our bow is gonna go. All right, and then this, I'm gonna use tear and tape to put this on because I tend to press too hard with the glue and then it bubbles up right here where this ribbon is. So I like to use tear and tape on this side. So of course, you know me, I like to have these flat edges and I've been tearing it off, but that's okay. I'll flatten it up this time here. I have been sitting down for these videos, so I'm sorry if I get a little off camera. It's harder to see what I'm filming, but I can kind of see. I just have to keep looking up at what's coming through. And so there we have that. And this one won't matter if we glue that down. That's not a big deal. But this, like I said, I don't want it to look uneven when I put this on. So that's why I'm doing the tear and tape. So I'm just going to do my little trick here all the way around so that I can get this on even without too much sticking until I'm ready. All right, and of course we want to remove these as well. All right, and then we just line this up so that it is even all the way around and take our little tabs off. There we go. So that's on. And then we just put some glue on the back of this one. And put that right on here like so. All right, so there's our inside. And all we have left to do is put our bow on. And I am going to need my mama's scissors here. If you haven't seen my previous videos, these were my mother's and we were forbidden to touch them when we were kids. Fabric and ribbon only. So I inherited them and I love them and they're perfect for ribbon. So I'm just going to put this bow right here. All right, And I'm going to attach it with the glue dots. And I think that I'm going to use 3. I think that works a lot better to hold it on. So I'm going to do one in the middle and then one on each side to just kind of help hold that down. If you don't have any glue dots, these are really handy for attaching bows, but let me tell you, they are sticky. I just need to make sure that I have this down a little bit so that I don't get that in the way when I pick up that dot. All right. All right, and then I'm just going to stick that right on there like that. And I think I got a glue dot on my finger, for crying out loud. Jeez, okay. And then I'm just going to trim these off. And there we go. There's our card. Isn't it pretty? I really like how that turned out. Now, I didn't add any gems or any bling, any swink of Stella or anything. I think it's pretty the way it is. Who knows? Maybe I'll go back and add something later. I don't know. But so here is our card that we made today. And of course we have our other cards as well. And like I said, this is called the back fold card. And I just really, really like it. I'm addicted to making these cards. So I may come up with a few other designs as well. So that's our card for today. I hope you have a great week and that you had a great weekend. And that is it for today. Have a great week and God bless. Bye-bye.